need you to clap your hands wherever you are. If you know that you're a conqueror, I want you to say this with me. I am a conqueror. I walk by faith and not by sight. Deep within me, I strive to do right. I'm not ashamed. Thank you for tuning in to watching The Reflection Show right here, right now, right here, right now. That's right. At Immokalee High School, we had such an amazing time with all of the students, changes in the air on The Reflection Show. I mean, every speaker spoke some powerful messages and gave a lot of wisdom and dropped a lot of nuggets. It was so lit. It was dope. So I want to welcome you to watching The Reflection Show right here, right now. Let's go. It's time for change. It's time for you to reflect on how your life is going to be from this moment. So at this moment, I'm going to have all the great speakers get ready to walk here on the show. The first speaker that I have here is the one and only. Clap it up for him. Y'all make some noise. Joshua Washington! Come on, y'all stand up, make some noise. Come on, stand up, make some noise. Come on. Everybody win. Everybody win. Come on, come on, come on. Next up we got coming up, she is the celebrity radio host, the one and only, all the way from Orlando, Mimi Stewart! Yeah! Now, he's an alumni right here from Immokalee. I remember seeing him run his heart out, but he has over 5 books, Target, Barnes & Nobles, everywhere, international, the one and only, the author, the writer, the publisher, Pierre Jeanty! Yeah! And I want everybody to get up. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. Come on, come on. Give your person some room. Tell them, hey, I need some room. I need some room. I need some room. Come on, come on. Let me tell you, I met him 7 months ago, and it was unbelievable. I was like, who is this kid? He's doing more work than I've ever done. He's traveling the world, and he is a world-renowned motivational speaker, author, the one and only John Humpreys. Let's go! Come on, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Y'all make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. And they stay there. Who else is there? All right. Man, Immokalee High School is lit. Absolutely. I mean, they turned up. What you think, Mimi?
This was the best, excuse me, I have to turn on my mic for a second.
It's all right. There it goes. She's a radio. Do your thing, Mimi.
This is the best entrance I've ever had, to be honest with you.
The best entrance. Come on, y'all shout it out for Mimi. The best entrance. So you telling me my hometown is showing out?
Yes, I've never experienced anything like that.
Wait, did you just say the secret word, experience?
I never experienced.
You never experienced something like this?
The first time.
Y'all make some noise for Mimi! That's what I'm talking about. Alex, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's just good to be here. I remember sitting here, so to see something like this is amazing.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I don't think it was this nice.
Josh, we didn't have something nice like this, did we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't have nothing nice like this. I mean, look, they're sitting in some expensive chairs. They probably took it from my paycheck when I was working for corporate. But and we got the one and only John. Come on, y'all clap it up for John. John, you're 10 years old. You're traveling the world. What would you like to tell Immokalee High School right now to these amazing students?
Well, this was really good entrance. Yeah.
Come on, y'all clap it up for John on The Reflection Show.
And for those of you that are watching online, thank you for tuning in to the Reflection Show. It's unscripted story. You never walk to the mirror scripted. You always walk unscripted. And you're here with the one and only Ramsey Rizard, your host. You're here with Joshua, the Joshua Mentality. You're here with Mimi Steward. You already know WOKB 1680, Wednesday night, Peace on the Street, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. You have the author himself, Pierre, Jeanty. And then you have the motivational speaker, the world-renowned John Humpreys. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up one more time for the Reflection Show. You know, guys, so we live in a world today where a lot of students, a lot of leaders, a lot of teachers are faced with depression and suicidal. And kids feel as though mentally they're not prepared for the next level. They feel as though when it comes to their environment, it's hard for them to shift. It's hard for them to embrace where they are. And then when it comes to social media, they don't know how to engage. They don't know how to build interpersonal relationship and the virtual relationship, the differences. And they don't know how to adapt. How do we adapt? So the Joshua Mentality, Josh, can you just let me know a little bit, like, why should the youth be mindful about decision making at the age that they are now?
Okay, so decisions. I think this is really a topic that has been mulled over for a long time, but I think to make it simple, I would say you should be mindful of your decisions, because your decisions have legs at the end of the day. And those legs will carry you into your future. And so, what do I mean? Well, your decisions, if they have legs, they carry into your future, then that means whatever decisions you make will determine the future you encounter.
So even talking about the encounter, how do they strengthen their legs? When they're in a season that their legs are weak, Alex, you ran cross country, we played sports, you played basketball, where Coach Hodge had you run down and do suicide, I gave up. I couldn't run suicide, y'all. I couldn't do it. I was one of those that I just fell to the ground and I act like I fainted because I really couldn't handle running.
But you left out a very important part of the story. Well, yes, go ahead. He actually fainted with his legs directly in the air. So if you can figure out how you are completely fainting, but your legs are still up in the air, come see me after the show. But no, speaking of encounter, so let's think about this. There was a young man who was getting ready for probably the biggest speech of his career. And so he's up the night before and he's preparing like any good, speaker would. But he gets to that speech the next day, and as he's giving it, he gets to one of the probably mid-lines and he realizes, I do not like the way this is going. So right in the middle of that pause, one of the ladies in the back, which I believe had to be one of those old church ladies with a big hat, so she yells out, tell him about the dream. So he pauses and he goes on to say, my friends, to you I say today that though we face great difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. Do you know who that was? Martin Luther King.
Wow. Isn't the celebration Monday for Martin Luther King?
Yes, celebration's Monday, but here's the point. That decision to kind of go off script and share what was in his heart, I think is something that we all have to be mindful of. You see, that speech he gave right there from his heart didn't start right there in that moment. It started from the decisions he made, every decision he made up until that moment. And I think for some of you in the audience today, you'll get to that point where you may feel like the little decisions, well, it doesn't seem like they're that significant. They may not seem significant when they're singular. But if you put them together and you look at them as they create and they accumulate up to that one moment. That moment when you have to decide, am I going to submit to depression or am I going to submit to what I know is my future, which is success?
Talking about future, when it comes to the students and teachers and faculty and everyone being impacted with every decision that they make, what are the steps that they can take to have that security in their future instead of turning over to depression or suicidal?
Well, we live in a society where we're very enticed to do this. Look at what everybody else is doing. We got.
Hold on, wait. You got to say that again. We are in a society where everyone is doing. Do y'all know what he means by doing this? Huh? Somebody say yes or no. You're on a talk show. It's okay to talk. You can talk with me. Y'all my brothers and sisters. So tell me, y'all know what he's talking about? What it means? You said lurking. That must be a Fort Myers thing, lurking, right? I haven't heard that word since 2002. So what's your name? Trinidad. Trinidad? Okay, you must be from Trinidad too. right? So when he's talking about this, he's talking about the virtual life. You're looking at different pictures, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. You're looking at this virtual life, and you're trying to create competition or compare with it, right, John?
Well, and not just virtual life, but your friend's life. You know, it's a matter of, to your question, how can we become more secure? Here's how you become more secure. We have to stop using everyone else as a measurement tool and use our potential.
Wait, you got to say that again. You're dropping nuggets. Hold on. You can't take me to McDonald's and not give me a bag of nuggets too. I want my nuggets for $1 menu. So say that again. You do what?
So you have to stop looking at everybody else and look at, you gain your security by measuring based on your potential.
Wow.
Your own potential is really what measures success. Because each and every one of you, when you popped out the womb and your mom, grabbed you and hugged you close, she didn't say, "This is my little failure." No, she said, "This is my son or daughter who I have nothing but an expectation of success for." That's because you were born and created to succeed. So you don't have to look out externally. It's not measured by how many cars you got, how many houses, how much money. It's measured by, am I moving towards my potential?
Am I moving towards my potential? And, for me, when I look at moving, that's a very powerful word, because moving is a proactive word. It's not abstract. It's not something you can just think about. You have to become. You got to take that step forward. So talking about moving, that leads to being intentional. How can teenagers be intentional about the decisions that they make now in this moment on the Reflection Show? Those who are sitting here, they got the golden ticket. They're here and they're saying, Joshua mentality, today is a day I am deciding to change. What can I do when it comes to me being intentional with every decision that I make?
Well, I think you all have demonstrated that by just being in this room. Being intentional about your decisions first starts with being able to develop a foundation that will guide your decisions. We call it a true north. So if you have a compass, there's always a true north. You can't fake where north is. North is always in the same direction. So when you have a good foundation, that is where you go to when you're thinking, well, should I make this decision or not? You can always go back to your principles. So to answer that question directly, being intentional, all right? Make sure you're always keeping a lookout for what are your strengths? What are your gifts, talents, passions? The things that are already internally inside of you, and using those things to also ask yourself, what are my principles? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? Because if you have those answers, then you can always make decisions that are rooted in that foundation.
Hold on, Josh. Everybody, y'all got to clap it up for this answer right here. Because, listen, you guys don't understand. For some of the teachers that's here, me and Josh grew up in Immokalee, and me and Josh used to always get in trouble for being in this back corner with this piano. But with this piano, we used to write music, we sang, something we still do today, but we would always talk about life and goals and dreams. And as he's talking about this, we always used to talk about being intentional about our goals, things that we write down. I remember 3 years ago, Josh used to call me, "Hey bro, we need to get back to doing our goals." You remember what we used to do in high school? He'll bring in that memory, because the memory you create today will help you establish your discipline later on in life. And this is what Josh talking about, being intentional, knowing what you have in your possession. You are in an amazing school that is pouring into you every day. Do you think teachers want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and come here and deal with students who have attitude? Think about this. Can somebody answer that? Huh? Can you think about that? They have to come and deal with different personalities, different characters. They have to come deal with people who don't think that they're valuable. But every day they have to find something to encourage you what it means that you are successful. That's what Josh said something earlier about the baby. When you came out and your mother held you, she didn't say, "Hello, failure." No, you were already successful the minute you came out. And talking about out and being birthed and success, let's go to Mimi. Mimi, let's talk about environment. Tell me a little about where you're from, your background, and your take on environment.
I'm originally from Long Island, New York.
New York, New York!
That's where people know.
Does anybody have family from New York in here? Oh, y'all better make some noise. Anybody family from New York?
Not too many.
Oh, well, I Oh, okay, Miss Gallegos. We got Miss Gallegos in the back. So she's showing some New York love.
That's what I'm going on there, though.
You're right. Right. Everybody. So yeah, so tell me a little bit about, how does your environment impact you? You're in the entertainment industry, you're a woman, you're strong, you're gifted, but also in high school you were bullied.
Yes.
So for you to be bullied in high school where you felt like there was nothing to live for, and for you to be where you are today, you're interviewing celebrities, you're on the radio every Wednesday night, you're impacting the community of Orlando, and everybody know Mimi. So tell me, how does your environment impact you?
Environment is huge. It can really destroy you. When I learned in school, I actually came from New York and I went to Florida, moved to Florida at 18 years old, 17 now. I graduated with complete strangers. So when I was put into the school, I did get bullied. They took me from being up north as a tough guy. And I was not that, I never even had a detention. Yeah. So I had to basically defend myself and fight. It was every day. It was hard for them to accept difference.
It was hard for them to accept difference. Now, 18 years old, coming from New York, graduating complete strangers, that change in transition, how did you find the balance for you to embrace who you are and to be where you are today?
I started realizing you can't fight everyone. There's always someone out there that's not going to like you for no reason or like what you're doing.
Wow. Wait, hold on, because somebody said preach like they were in a church or something, but that is good. You got to say that again because we want them to applaud because you can tell that struck a chord. Yeah. So say that again, Mimi.
There's someone, seriously, there's someone out there that's not going to like who you are or what you're doing, no matter what you try to do. You can't please everyone. So within that said, you have to basically make sure you can find yourself, surround yourself with good people, meaning like-minded folks that want to strive for success, that have a lot of passion, dedication, doesn't want to get anyone in trouble, yet they're themselves in trouble. Right. They have a goal, somewhere to strive for, and if they haven't found their way, they're still good people. They want to make a change, they want to help others. When you start helping others, you will see how well you will flourish. And within that said, you'll find your way. You'll find yourself with like-minded people that will cater to you, will actually support you. And from that point, you'll know where you stand, how to develop yourself.
So so let's say, because I grew up in a home where my mother tried all her best to support. Last night I was talking to Miss Air here at Beta Practice, and shout out to Beta. Definitely, Beta Club taught us definitely a lot about networking, life serving, and my father was never there. So my father left my mom when I was 3 years old, and my mom had to work as a migrant here in Immokalee, picking tomatoes and working in a packing house. She'd probably work from 5 in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. So my sister would have to raise us. So I had to come to an environment that every day I was challenged. And then I had to go into an environment that was breaking me down. How did you find that balance of coming from your home, a support family, to a school that didn't support you? So you had to literally become Mimi, but then when you came to school, you had to try to embrace Mimi. Right. How did you find that balance?
I just realized that I'm okay by myself. I could be on my own. I could be independent.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we got some independent ladies out there. Ladies, make some noise. Oh, Mimi. Girl, I think you got a new fan base. They're going to be having Mimi all over the walls, and the janitor, I'm sorry, janitor, in advance, I'm sorry that you're going to be seeing positive words all over the school because it is time for change! As I sit here and I reflect on what you guys are saying, Josh, what is one thing that you can say? One more gem, one more nugget. I'm going to let you drop one more nugget because normally it comes 4 in a box at McDonald's. But today we're going to allow them to get one extra nugget. So, right? So, Josh, what is one nugget that you can drop in a deep fryer to cook this thing right now?
Deep fry. All right. I think Mimi hit it, man. I think independence is sometimes you may have to go through a season where you're independent. And I think you should embrace that. I think the next level to that, though, Steve Covey wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Wait, y'all, write that down. Does everybody have their phone for right now? Write this down because this is important. Reading is powerful. Whoever told you that reading is not important, we all would not be here if we did not read something. If you do something, you will become something. Everybody say that with me. If you do something, you will become something. Say it again. If you do something, you will always become something. Point to yourself and say, if I do something, I will become something. So write this down. Give them the name of this book again, Josh.
Yeah, it was Steve Covey, and it was called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in the intro, it was something very interesting that he said. He said, a lot of us talk about being independent or dependent, but neither one of those is the optimal way to live.
Wow.
The truth is, the sweet spot is right there at interdependence. Because interdependence says, I need people, but I also need that other side of being able to stand on my own. And I think that's what Mimi was really hitting there, or what she was saying. I think that was so important. She went through a season of independence, no doubt. But I bet you Mimi has people in her life that she's dependent on that have helped her grow. So I will say, always have somebody also. You can have your season of independence, ladies. That is awesome.
Ladies, make some noise. Fellas, make some noise. Go ahead, say something.
What I'm saying, it's true, because I'm right now at the best time in my adult life with the best people around me.
Right.
Now to get there, I had to be independent.
Yes.
I had to be that one to make that movement on my own without worrying about what people judging me about. I want to make a change.
And that's exactly right, because that's where the principles and your foundation becomes solid, when you can really stand on your own. But it's also what she said about getting to the best part of her life. When you can get to the part of your life where you know mentors, you have people who've been to where you're trying to go, and you can really draw from that well, that's when life really begins to take. Because now you have the combination of both. You can stand on your own foundation, but you also can use the foundation of others to grow.
Wow. You can stand on your own foundation, but you also need others to help build the foundation that you stand on. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that extra nugget? Hold on, because I got one more, okay? I'm giving y'all bonus today, Immokalee, because I'm an alumni, and I want to show y'all some love. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, cool. Mimi, let's drop one more nugget for them before we go on this short commercial break.
What's the nugget about what I'm saying to be independent, right?
Yeah.
Listen, the saddest thing is wasted talent. Don't waste that. Go for it. Even if you're the one that created it, go for it. Because I guarantee you're going to make a change. All of us have. The ones that are successful have made that change.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Just make sure you focus, study on that, because that's huge. And after you have accomplished where you're going, your surroundings will change, and there'll be great folks around you. And that's when our foundation comes in, because you do need them.
Yeah.
You do need them, and that's why I'm at the best time of my life.
Yeah. Y'all clap it up for Mimi. Thank you all for watching. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're here at Immokalee High School, the Reflection Show, and stay tuned. We'll be right back. Come on, y'all clap it up one more time.
Is anyone in here, you would say that you have a dream or Something that you want to accomplish in life.
My name is Joshua Washington. I am 28 years old, and I get the chance to travel and speak to various groups about defining success and what it looks like to develop the proper mentality around critical areas in our life.
Back when I was a little boy, my grandmother, she would call me into the kitchen where she was. That was the time where she liked to talk and kind of catch up with what was going on in my world. So here's my turn to answer my grandmother. So my grandmother says, Joshua, what do you want to be when you grow up? Grandma, when I grow up, I want to be a garbage man.
I grew up in a small little town called Immokalee, Florida, and growing up there as a young man, I really took on the environment around me. So my mentality growing up was very poor. When I moved out and went on to college, I got a chance to really be introduced to the real world. And needless to say, that was kind of a slap in the face once I got out into the real world and realized my mentality was not prepared for what I was going to encounter.
When you take that selfish dream of yours and you take it in your hand and you cast it off into this still body of water that is the world, and once it penetrates through the world, it begins to create ripple effects that begins to bless your neighborhoods, that begins to bless your communities, that begins to bless your schools, that begins to bless your families. That's the kind of impact that selfless dreams have on the earth.
A number of crucial areas within our mentality that really shape how we see the world will determine how successful we are in life and really how fulfilled we are in life. And for a young person, usually those crucial areas have to do with our purpose, how we define success, how we look at time, in life, and relationships.
We were not created to be generic. There are two crucial steps into developing your mentality around success. The first is, of course, honoring those God and selfless dreams. But the second one is more important. The second one that's crucial is knowing that you were born and created for a reason. He picked you out of the crowd to be right here, right now, tonight, with a purpose that is etched on the inside of your heart.
So the Joshua mentality really tells of a journey of breaking down all of those old ways of thinking, all of those tarnished buildings that we often have in our minds and how we see life. And it's really my platform that I take to really motivate today's youth.
Success is already given to you. It's predestined for your life. It was etched out when you were in your mother's womb. It was etched out before you knew you. So I want you to know tonight to take joy in whatever failure you're experiencing. Take joy in whatever moment you find yourself in life, because you were predestined to be a success. Failure is an option. Success is your destiny.
You can't wait on other people to be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation.
To all my Facebook and Instagrammers, how you guys doing today? I'm so excited to be tuning in right here, right now as you're watching this. I wanted to do a quick announcement. My show now, The Reflection Show, airs at 9 p.m. every Thursday. You asked for it, I'm giving it to you. So make sure you share, like, comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right down here in the Mirror TV on our YouTube channel. We want you to be a part of this journey. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. I'm so thankful for all of your support, and I definitely want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, your experience matters.
Let's talk about social media. We live in a world today where everyone is stuck on the phone. If you're walking in the hallway, you're strolling on Instagram. If you're in classroom or you're out eating, you're Snapchatting, you're doing all that other good stuff. You're live, but you're never engaged with the person that's next to you. You talk about the person on social media, all the good things, but they never heard those kind words for you. And what an honor to have the one and only. He is a great marketer. He does it all as an author, as a publisher, as a writer. Pierre Alex Jeanty. Clap it up for him real quick. Alex, as you look at this crowd, tell me, what do you see?
I really see myself because I was once in this place. And one of the things I wanted to say before we even get to talking is, I actually love the fact that you guys are engaged, because there was one of, I used to be a kid who sometimes I come to anything like this and it was just like, okay, I'm out of class, that's all it was. But you guys seem like you're grabbing some of this message, you're making sure, I'm hoping you're going to implement them. So kudos to you. I don't know.
Come on, y'all clap it up. He's giving.
One more thing, I do want to give Ramsey a good hand clap, because he's making you guys say hi, we feel like we're celebrities. And you love your nuggets, obviously.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's important to bring your gifts back home, where you can plant a seed. Teachers are given a shovel every day, and going into the world and seeing what I've become, it was time for me to grab a shovel and dig a hole here in Immokalee and plant a seed to where they can eat something good, where they don't have to feel like they're running out. It's nutrition, it's substance that they're able to have. And talking about substance, man, social media doesn't give you substance at all. I mean, everything seems fake, okay? People, I got a big house, or I'm on vacation, but they don't realize that the person's light is cut off. I got new shoes, but they don't have no one is supporting them for college. So social media is a way for them to get away. How can teenagers have meaningful friendship on social media without being negative?
I think that is a very good question, and the one thing I'm going based on what you said, is social media, a lot of it is escapism for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is this is you going there to entertain yourself. But when you go there, a lot of people go there for entertainment, but they're looking for meaningful relationships. And it's hard to find that if you're going there to be entertained. A lot of you share memes and things like that. And when it comes to building like healthy friendship, healthy relationship, you have to go beyond the surface. And social media usually gives you the surface. That's why you see the house, but you don't know what's in it. You see the car, you don't know the payments or any of that. And you see the kid who, you have a young girl who probably, is a model and doing all this, but you don't know all the things that she deals with. So when it comes to building relationship, it takes communicating on a deeper level. And I think that's one thing our generation, although being millennials, we had because we didn't have MySpace until high school. We were still having to go play outside.
You were still playing dial
things like that. We had to communicate. So one thing that was different for us, and I think it's hard for you guys, is that we learned to talk on the phone long. We learned, just to play around, play outside and things like that. And you guys, you're communicating with each other a lot through Snapchat, Instagram, and it's never let's sit down and have real conversation. Some of you, your best friend may be suicidal and dealing with so many things and you don't know, because all you're doing is you're sending memes and interacting, but you're not really communicating.
Wow.
And that is necessary. And that's why sometimes I'm teaching myself, put the phone down. What's going on with my wife? And sometimes, and for you, you're just asking just random questions. What is your best friend's favorite place to eat?
You're coming from Haiti. You weren't even born here. So coming to a big place like this, transition, social media, and you being a powerful house of marketing, and you're seeing today of the suicide and depression, and you hit a good point when you talked about the surface. They see the house, but they don't see inside of it. They see the car, but they don't see the payments. When it comes to that, how can they interact with one another when they sit down at a restaurant? What are some positive habits that they can take from you in order to build those type of relationships?
In addition to that, Alex, Brandon mentioned some things, but he also, I don't know if you all know, but Alex, when he showed up here, you didn't speak the language either.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
And he ended up what did you graduate at? Because we all graduated together.
2007.
2017.
Where did you graduate at?
Out of college?
Out of our class. Where were you ranked at in our class?
Oh, I
top of the class.
Yeah.
You may not
Yeah.
You may not remember, but I remember. So to come from Haiti,
Yeah.
not speak the language,
Yeah.
and to still be able to graduate from top of the class, I think that really gives you to be able to speak about.
And Josh, also his books. Over 5 books. Target. I mean, you can go to Target now. You'll find her. You'll find him. These are the book titles. I mean, for someone to start at Esau and to be on top of the class.
Way back.
Listen, I remember. I was bad in high school. When I mean bad in high school, meaning that I used to always bother him. So that's I like to bother. But yeah, I mean, Josh, that is a good point. I mean,
and not to embarrass you, I know you don't like hearing all this, but I know you're humble.
No.
Yeah, but I want to support.
No, because I actually like that because you put me in a position to actually relate more to you guys. Because I came from Haiti, I went to Pinecrest, I didn't know English.
any Pinecrest in the house?
Pinecrest.
Started people down and out here, I guess.
I went to Pinecrest, I was in the cool kids, and I got here, my accent was heavy, people were making fun of me, but kind of going back to what Mimi was saying, I chose to be independent. It was just, I'm going to do whatever is necessary to succeed. And it was, I found people. Then I became inter-independent because I connected with the counselor. I started surrounding myself with a lot of people, and I started, I was a runner. So it was, look, although I didn't know English, although it's crazy to me that I'm writing books, but I've only spoken English for like 18 years.
18 years.
And there's some things that I correct people who've been learning English forever.
Like
me. And I'm like, what? But it was just, I had this mentality that, look, I'm going to go somewhere, whether anyone else cheer me on or not. I mean, I wanted to stay in social media, but whether anyone cheer me on or not. And Josh made a good point. I did graduate with a 3.5. And, that's me coming from behind because my freshman year, I was kind of like nonchalant about everything. But then I actually said, look, I need to be proactive. I need to go forward a lot more than I was doing. And look, now I own a publishing company. Now I have other authors, and I have 8, 9 books out. And when
How about y'all clap it out for that? Let me tell you, here in Immokalee, and me and Miss Gallegos was talking about this, and Alex and I was talking about this, and Josh. In Immokalee, it's only known for football. That's it. But I mean, here you are, you have an author. You have a motivational speaker. You have a TV host. The dream is not just in one avenue.
Yes.
The dream is in everything. There's a writer in here. There's a motivational speaker out here. There is a fashion designer out here. There is someone who owns a construction company out here. There is a principal out here. Every one of you have a dream and a gift inside. Would you say that, Alex?
Yes. I mean, even I took a different route, and it's okay to take a different route. I was a runner. I was a long distance runner, and I was built like a short distance runner. So I was.
Hold on, break that down in the layman's term, because you lost me. I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner. You can tell I'm not a runner. I gained a couple weight, so yeah, I'm not a runner.
So I ran the 100. The best way to put it, I ran the 100 once at a meet, and then I had to get right after that to run the 400. So I ended up being good in middle distance, and I think I have the record. Mike should have said could double check me. But it was being...
Y'all clap it up for Mr. Martinez! Hey! Come on, Mr. Martinez.
You made an impact in my life.
Our track team was undefeated, I think, that year in 2007.
Yeah.
We didn't lose not one.
But Josh, you know why they were Mimi, John, you know why they were undefeated? Because I was on the team, This is what I do. I mean, when...
He made it to one stretch section. We stretched before we run, correct, Alex? Yeah. He made the one stretch section. We got ready to start, and Ramsey was like, "Where's Ramsey?" He was gone.
But to going back to what I was saying, I took a different lane. I went to a different school. I went to a prestigious school. I'm sorry, and I was in football. I was too skinny. I would not get hit for anyone. And so I was already good at running. So it was like no. But when I took that lane, I went all the way to Maine to school and came back and now doing this. And it's like, look, it's okay to be different. You don't have to be doing what everyone else is doing. You can have your lane. How many authors you know in Immokalee? How many, motivational speakers in Immokalee? Not from Immokalee, because we are from Immokalee, but in there. So it's hard, sometimes it's hard. You look at people, you're like, well, I can't do this because no one else is doing it. But you could be the first, and maybe there are other people doing it. It's like, anytime I hear a writer from Immokalee, I say, look, I'll take your information down. I took a name from Madeline earlier. We're so off track. I'm supposed to be talking about social media.
You're flowing. It's unscripted. So this is where your heart is leading you. Your heart is leading you to be transparent. And this is what the show is about, because they can only relate if you're transparent. How can someone honor you if you're never transparent? Yeah. How can someone embrace you if you're never transparent? And that's the problem with society. We put up a front as if we don't have to go through the process. And transparency is going through the process. So everything you're sharing, someone in that chair today, during this show, is reflecting and is relating to you. And you don't know whose life you're changing right now. So continue, Alex. This is your floor. This is what you're doing before we bring on John.
But yeah, so taking that different lane, please, you could be the first, engineer from here. You can be whatever you want to be. And although you don't have the support, I didn't have the support when I first started. Or Alex writing a book, he barely can say some words, certain words. His English is broken as heck. I found the people and the help. And to plug in social media was the people that I connected with on a personal level. Not just we share memes, we laugh at just different things or not talk about our deep issues. The people that I connected with and had a good relationship with were some of the people that ended up helping me, when I did not have the help. But at first I had to start with just saying, I have to take this lane by myself. I have to do it whether people agree with it or not. Even when I quit my job, I've been working for myself for 4 years. Everyone was like, you're crazy. But then, now, 4 years later, it's like, wow, you took that step. So be different. You have no limitation from Immokalee. I'm a kid from Immokalee with 1 million+ followers on Facebook, 500,000 on Instagram, and I've built other people, and I'm per se celebrity status online. So there's no limitation. And I'm not saying, going back to social media, it's not about the fame to me. I don't care about how many followers I have. The most important thing to me is what my books are doing, how they're connecting with people and things like that. And that's the most important thing. Relationship, people matter. So when you're going out for lunch, I'm plugging it back for you. When you go out to lunch, talk to your friends. What's going on with your friends? Because sometimes you may be the person that helps save them. Once you build those communications, then you have the room for depression and suicide to take so many of younger kids. Do you actually lower the chances, because then they feel like someone can listen to you. Right. One thing I learned about as a writer is that people always want someone. The way they connect with my writing is because they feel like they're not alone. And I want you to know you're not alone. And even if sometimes you have to go through that independent season, but you are not.
So you're not alone, independent season. How do you balance virtual relationship with interpersonal relationship when it comes to social media?
You have to take breaks. We are addicted to our phones. You have to take breaks. And when I started business, because I run so many social media pages, I would be on there all the time. And I have a family, I'm married and things like that. I had to learn and I'm still learning. My wife can tell you, I'm still learning. But I had to learn there's a difference. Those relationships you have outside of social media, they need to be watered. They need to be cultivated. You need to break from it, because you could check on your timeline. There's always something crazy. And me, what I had to do is I created something for business and I created something personal. But even now, I'm learning to pull back a little bit from the personal. It's just, you have to learn that life doesn't just revolve around social media.
Right.
Those are people, once you're on the phone, you're actually pausing your life. Because if you think about it, sometimes we think we could text and talk to someone. But are you really listening? Are you really interacting with that person? So that's why you have to take breaks for yourself, at least for your mental health, because being bombarded by so much politics and everything else, you know, kids, you know, this person, that happened to this person and that. It's hard to unplug, but I really think the balance is you saying like, look, I can't be on this thing all day. You know, I can't, you know, what's going on with my friends? What's going on with my mom? How can I help my mom? A lot of your parents work late nights and work in a packing house and things like that. So how can I just, you know, how can I help them? How can I do my homework more? What can I do to get into college or find my dreams or whatever it may be?
Right.
But unplug, because even with me having a personal page, I sometimes interact, and even that, I'm cutting that off. Like, I'm like, look, this is from 9 to 5. I'm gonna be for business. Then after that, you know, just one quick thing. Something that came to mind. 2 nights ago, me, Ramsey, my wife, and Carl Ellie, who played football here, and his fiance, we were talking up until 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Carl ended up sleeping at my house because he didn't want to drive to Immokalee from Lehigh. But it was, none of us had our phone. And we started talking from like 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
Memories.
And we're talking about just not memories, just things happening in life.
Yeah.
And those are times, once you start understanding the difference, it's easy, you start learning to unplug. It's going to be hard, but you have to.
You have to learn to unplug. And what a great way to have John Humpreys himself to talk about what it means to adapt. Because you're in an unplug season. How do I adapt? John has a book, Be Amazing. And in your book, you talk about, you know, in order to be amazing, you have to know what it means to change and to accept your transition and to become who you are. John, you're 10 years old. I mean, you're sharp in your suit. You got an awesome tie. You know, you got a $1 million smile, you know, and you're sitting there with so... Y'all like John? Y'all like John? John, you know, to be here 10 years old and to see that you are in front of over 200 students in high school, how are you adapting to this moment right now?
Well, the first thing I gotta say is my mouth has been shut for a while now, so my lips have been glued together. And so that's number one. And number two, this feels great. You know, being able to be in front of people who want to learn and adapt to things that can help them to be successful in their life and do business better when they get older.
To do business better as they get older. So what can they learn today, John, at the age that they are, as far as things that can stop them from living their dreams, being successful? Because you're 10 years old, 2 books, you're traveling the world. I mean, just yesterday you're hanging out with JT Fox. You know, tomorrow you're back on a TV network, and then later on you're on Facebook Live with Les Brown. So your schedule is so much. What can you help the Immokalee High School students today when it comes to their age and stopping them? How can they adapt to becoming who they are?
Well, one thing is success has no age limit or age requirement. Therefore, you can be successful at any age, and you have no excuse to why you are not successful.
Wow.
I mean, come on, you guys are teenagers and I'm 10.
Come on, y'all clap it up for John. Come on. Wow. Come on, John. You're what? You're 10 years old and they're what? So it is possible. It is possible. So when you talk about your book being amazing, what do you mean by that? When you're empowering the world, you're empowering teenagers and adults. I mean, a month ago, you and I were in Miami at an adult event at 9 o'clock at night, and you're sitting there in a chair and you're talking to people who are 50, 60 years old. I mean, John, what is it about your book Be Amazing and adapting that you can talk about to help empower the students today on the Reflection Show?
Well, my book Be Amazing is a guide to becoming the best version of yourself. And Be Amazing is not only the title of my book, but is an acronym
for not only the chapters in my book, but the steps to success. Like on the back here, the first one is begun by believing, and you have to do that first. Because if you can't believe in yourself, then why are you even trying to do anything?
Wow. Wow. No, that was a full sandwich. That was a McChicken. Go ahead, keep sharing with us.
I'll tell you some more steps, like E is the next step. And this one is one of the most important, and it means to escape your fear. Because if you're afraid of being successful, like, you know me, I used to have stage fright. And look at me, I'm in front of all you guys.
Come on, y'all clap it up.
And it even takes you all the way to G, good times, where you need to have fun, have good times. Z, zest for life. What do you like to do? I like to learn. I like to help people to learn. I want to inspire everyone to be amazing.
I love to inspire everyone to be amazing. And John, too, at your age, to hear that younger kids are committing suicide and they're going through the stage of depression, what is one thing that you can inspire them with in this moment that when they walk out of this building, it's going to be engraved in their hearts and minds?
Well, number one, why would you kill yourself? I mean, come on, you've got an entire life to live. You could have everything you've dreamed of. You could have anything possible. And even if you feel like the scum of the earth right now, guess what? It's going to get better.
It's going to get better. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for our amazing speakers here on the Reflection Show. Come on, y'all clap it up one more time for the Joshua Mentality, Josh Washington, Mimi Mala, WOKB 1680, Pierre Alex Jeanty, author, Jeanius Publishing, and the one and only John Humpreys. Be amazing. Y'all clap it up! Come on, make some noise.
Wake up, first thing I see my flaws, no makeup, just me, nobody else. I'm faced with my reflection, standing here now, accepting truth. Deep scars within cover my heart. I speak to myself, saying these words: I am beautiful, I am beautiful. Look in the mirror, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful. Look in the mirror, beautiful. time, I really wasn't able to say that. I thought that my imperfections were only there to harm me, disabled, or I thought that my imperfections were meant to harm me, to hold me back. I realized that my imperfections are what makes me beautiful. But I realized that that's what makes you who I am. You're beautiful. They made me, you're beautiful. Beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. 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 You're beautiful. Beautiful.
At this time, we're going to bring out this pledge together. We are going to declare this together because we all have a story. We all have experienced something in life. But your experience is a story you can share with someone to impact and change their lives. And this is what In the Mirror, this is what the Reflection Show is about. This is what it means to have great leaders come together and to work together to make this possible here at Immokalee High School. So, I want you guys to repeat after me. Say, I will change.
I will change.
I will help.
I will help.
I will have a positive attitude. I will never give up.
I will never give up.
I will be grateful.
I will be grateful.
I will empower.
I will transform. I will rise above. I will aspire to do great things. I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not stop. I will strive to succeed. I will inspire. I will try to do better. So you gotta say, I will try to do better. I will improve. I will overcome. And put your hands up and say, I will never give in. Immokalee High School, make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Reflection Show. Thank you for watching for those that are online. And thank you to Immokalee High School, the Golden Ticket students. And remember, your experience matters. Thank you for watching. Love you guys.